Yeah, I just don't want to be able to switch it back and forth. All right. Told you guys I was going to be here every Wednesday, 12, and tonight at 6 is going to be about leverage. But we're here with Luis Angel, and he's becoming a new agent. He's getting his license. I'm going to let him introduce himself, what he does, and why he decided to get in real estate. And I'm going to have him ask me questions. What are his biggest concerns, and how does he get to where he wants to go with real estate? So we're just basically going to spend some time about new agents today, some training. Any questions you guys have, go ahead and send over the comments. All right, let's get started, baby. It's 12 o'clock. Luis, introduce yourself, bro. How'd you got started with real estate?
Yeah. My name's Luis Angel.
Sorry, I keep calling you Luis.
Luis is fine. It's in Spanish. I've always been into real estate. I do a lot of other things. I'm always, I'm a full-time dad. I got 4 kids. I have a full-time job, part-time job.
He's a hustler, baby. Can I get on it? He's a hustler. Okay.
Yeah. I've always been into real estate.
Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, I've always been into real estate. I got some rentals that I'm into, but I've always had to work with a real estate agent. So now Marshall, I actually commented on something that that I posted, and we just started up a casual conversation about real estate, and he showed me how and where to go to get my license.
So I'm currently sideways. I'm sitting on your lap,
right. Bro. I'm currently working on that. In the middle of my full-time job, my part-time job, I got a business. In the middle of everything. So.
Yeah, let me just hold it, man. All right, there we go. Go ahead.
So today we're here in my office just talking about that, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be working on it. I just recently got enrolled into real estate U. Costs about $100. I'm listening to those courses. There's a lot of things I didn't know, but it's really interesting, and I'm really excited that Marshall will be able to answer my questions.
Hey, something I like that you told me, the reason, I remember when we had lunch, the reason you want to get real estate, because when growing up, you didn't even think it was like feasible, like getting into a house. And for me, growing up poor, I was the same thing, bro. Like I was like, if I just buy a house, I'll get wealthy. And then I started learning about that. But you're very similar, like, so you're passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
That's why you do what you do, because of things you've been through. And I think that's why we connected, bro. And I'm here today. And honestly, this was the last minute. I decided to have lunch with him, hit him up, and then realized I still had the 12. So like, hey, let's just improvise. So he's kind enough to do that. But I thought it would really go along with what we're talking about, agents getting started. So I wanted to ask him, what are some things that he's concerned about and questions he has as far as getting into real estate and doing the things he needs to do. So I figured we just chop it up and talk about that. And I didn't get a chance to send this out to the team, but I will next time, I promise. So Wednesdays, guys, just tune in. Wednesdays, 12 o'clock, 6 p.m. is about leverage. 12 is going to be real estate agents and teaching. So go ahead.
Yeah. When I grew up thinking that owning a home was only for rich people. I really used to believe that. I lived in apartments all my life, and I just thought you had to be a college graduate and have a really, really good job in order to buy a home. I never thought that I was going to be able to do that. But when I understood the rules, that I actually learned on my own. I learned on my own how to buy a home. What's all involved, the different types of loans like FHA, conventional loan. How to target a certain amount of money to put down in order to to make it affordable. And when I really understood those rules, I started to create a plan. And then from there is where I bought my first home. But I planned on buying a home back in 2009. I personally put together a 2-year goal of buying a home, put my credit in order, started working on the deposit, understood the loans and where to go, and how to improve my credit by doing certain things, and I bought my first home. So since then I've gone on to do that with my wife a few other times, and I think from my own personal experience I understand it very well. But now that I'm actually getting into the real estate field, I really feel that with the knowledge that I'm going to get is going to make me even that much better at helping others.
Hey, bro, you said something, I got to jump it. So the number one thing you can invest in is yourself. And the number one reason that people don't do what they do, what they can do, is because of the belief in themselves. And you said something as far as growing up, you think you could do it. And I think that, and I've heard billionaires say this, it's really the only people I listen to are billionaires nowadays. And they all say the same thing. The number one reason people don't succeed is because of lack of belief in themselves. And the way to get over that is getting uncomfortable every single day. And that's where people, man, did I get some sun today? Or well, I'm looking red, bro. I need to put on some sunblock. Must have been yesterday when I was out working on that damn property, putting no sunblock on, going back and forth. Anyway, so those are the two biggest things I just want to share out to people. If you're thinking about getting your license, if you have your license, guys, you need to have the belief, and the way you get the belief, I'm gonna put it back on here. The way you get the belief, I wish this thing would turn sideways, but okay, let's keep it. So the way you get the belief is by getting uncomfortable and by getting around people that are doing the things you're looking to do. And the reason we're connecting, and I'm starting to connect with a lot of agents, because I hit all my goals. But my new goal that I'm gonna set up with the team and the people I work with is we're gonna sell 1,000 homes in the next 3 years. The third year we'll sell 1,000. So that is my goal. I want to teach people like Lewis to help other people. So I'm looking for people that just want to help people and learn and grow. And if you're that person, guys, comment below. Tell me what you're up to and what you're looking to do. Doing well. Which country? U.S. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how YouTube works, but I love how I think it boosts out the live and people from all over the country and the world. And we're so blessed to be here.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
I do want to say one thing.
Yeah.
When I first started to understand real estate and buying a home and everything, I think one of the biggest fears, both for me and my wife, was that commitment. Like you start hearing 30-year loan. I'm going to be trapped in this home for 30 years. What if I don't like it? What if the neighborhood's bad? And what about that money? I got to make this payment every single month. But when I understood how that payment turns into equity, and that equity is a tool that can benefit you and your family in the long run, it all made sense.
So something that you hit on right now was courage, bro. The thing that most people lack, and you got courage because you got knowledge. But I have a client from a while ago in Visalia. He's a veteran, and same thing. He was going to buy 3 years ago, got approved again, and then decided to hold off because he doesn't know where he's going to be in 3 years. And I told him, it doesn't matter where you're going to be in 3 years. Rent it out. Buy it now, bro. That's $100,000. You already lost. You're gonna lose another $100,000. But what you said is commitment, bro.
Yeah.
I've even tried to help, and I'm starting to help people that don't want to buy, that's too scared, not approved for enough. They're not comfortability again. I have somebody who's approved for 275 but wants 350. Don't buy. I'm trying to tell them I'll buy with you, and we'll be 50-50 partners. I'll do all the work, manage it all. You don't have to do anything, but at least you'll have half of what you would have by not doing it. Yeah. Better than nothing. But people fear of commitment, bro. So. Yeah. It's a great point you brought up, man. And these are things that I've constantly learned to handle and realize. And you're in psychology, and I feel like I've been doing nothing but psychology for 21 years. What was that? Sorry, but you had to understand psychology, right? Yes. I'm sure you took classes. But understanding people and why we do what we do is, for me, the number one thing that I look at, because I always want to understand how things work and why aren't people buying? Why aren't people getting into real estate? And I will say, because I wasn't the smartest, I wasn't the best with people, but the thing that I'm good at is confronting my fear and getting uncomfortable and getting courageous, bro. Like, I do the things just that scare me. That's the thing. So whatever's scaring you, you should go towards. So if you're in real estate, you're getting your license, bro. Like, in your license, then start, work with somebody, open houses, phone calls. Do things that are going to grow you and get you better. But by getting a coach, you're going to streamline. I'm going to take 21 years and get it done a lot, bro. So much faster. So that's why you reached out.
Yeah. I got fears too. I think for me, when I have fears, it's because of what I don't understand. If I don't understand something, I don't understand how the rules work, then I need to find those details.
You're more analytical.
I have to find those details to understand and make a confident decision. It's actually something I learned in a book called The Clifton Strengths Test. Context is important for me I have to understand the context in order before I make a decision.
So my dad is the same way, and there's a lot of people, but my dad's very analytical. And I do like to know things, but I think my biggest strength and what a lot of people need to get better at is you don't have to know everything to do something. You just got to get started. You know what I mean? But you're doing that now.
Yes.
You're getting started. And that's where a lot of agents, they just never get started, bro. And I have so many agents I'm working with that sign up for the license and never follow through. Mm-hmm. Now they're going back through it, and I'm holding them accountable, checking in weekly or every week, every 2 weeks. And that's keeping them, because they get a little bit of encouragement every week or two. So by having a coach in your life, having a mentor, I'm telling you guys, you get so much farther. But getting started, guys, get your license. And then the next step, which you can do if you're on a team, you can start working with somebody and getting mentored and coached by somebody without even having your license. Because you can talk real estate, you just can't talk numbers and financing, but you can talk about why you should buy a home, how, you know, your experience. Just hey, if you know somebody that should buy a home, start educating people on why they should buy and what you've done and how it's helped you. And hey, I have someone that can help you, and just start to get more comfortable and get just get more versed on real estate. But
Yeah. You understand
what
the
is
rules.
yeah,
Understand the rules.
exactly. So since you were here with me, we're gonna go for about another 3 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up on here before we get off. We'll answer them. So what's one thing that you would like to know right now once you get your license? Like how do I get started? What do I do? Like, what's your one?
Well, I got lots of questions.
Tell me. Yeah, that
You
was
know,
awesome.
you know,
I'll
I
hold
got
it.
I got lots of questions, but I think honestly,
Fire them away, bro. What's your top?
well, I think for me, I think the biggest question is, or what I've kind of found out so far is having a mentor. Having a mentor there when I need a mentor to answer my questions to kind of help me through the process is something I'm going to need to depend on. So I think that's one of my biggest questions is how do I get a mentor?
Yeah.
How does that work?
All right, cool. So that's a great question. So here's the thing: when you go work for a brokerage, let me get into that part. So deciding on what brokerage you work for, so we'll label that. I got it. We're cool. So when I started off selling real estate, I went for work for a small brokerage. They paid 80%. Most people do this. They go just like home sellers. They're trying to discount the agent commissions. They end up costing themselves more money. And what I mean by that is if you go work for a brokerage that gives you 90% commission, they're not going to give you any training. That's the problem. So what you want to work for is a company that has hands-on, extensive training. And what I'm providing to Lewis is going into my team. I'm gonna have an A and a B team. Okay, A team is gonna be selling 40 to 50 homes every single year. The B team are gonna be the ones that are getting started doing part time things like that. Maybe selling 7 to 8 or 10 homes a year, which average agents sell. So depending on where you fit, there's gonna be different opportunities. But at the end of the day, here's the biggest thing you got to ask yourself, or ask the broker you're going to interview. If I work for you, what are you going to offer me, right? The bigger brokerages like Guarantee, so anyone's in your city, if they're a big brokerage, they usually have the newer people that have been in business for a year or two do the training and walk you through things and give them 10%, something like that. It's going to be basic. So I've been selling on average 50, 60 homes a year for over 21 years. So if you want expert advice, typically you got to pay more. But there's a couple of ways of doing it. So if you're here local, I could teach you and put you on the team and we'll talk about that. But basically, I will be mentoring you as a broker. The problem with working with a broker, typically a broker is just running the company and you're not getting an expert salesperson. So you're getting it all with me because I'm going to be brokering and doing the team, but I've also had all the sales experience. And transitioning, typically high performers don't usually coach, but if you do get an opportunity, that's where you want to go. So at the end of the day, you can get trained by anybody, but you're going to get trained how they've learned. So I went and sold homes for 6 months with a small company. Didn't sell anything, go figure. Then somebody referred me because I would ask for help. No one really wanted to help me and take me under their wing. So some old lady was kind enough to ask me if I ever thought about new home sales. So I sent in a resume, got hired, Syntex Homes, with 4 other agents that they all had degrees. I didn't, but they saw the drive in me. We took personality tests, like you mentioned earlier. 3 different interviews, and bam, got the job. They took me through and trained me on building rapport, on making phone calls, on asking the right questions, on doing a model tour. We went through extensive training, and they want people that haven't been worked for anybody else or trained by any other agents because they want to give you the good habits and not have to break you of your bad habits. So to answer your question, you want to get trained by an expert that's going to be able to show you how to sell as many homes as possible to give you all the good things before you go and work for somebody and get bad habits. And the biggest thing is going to be mindset. So we talk 80-90% about mindset because until you believe it, you can't achieve it. So by getting around somebody that's selling 50 to 60 homes a year, and when I worked at Guarantee Real Estate, out of 150 people in my office, there was about 1 or 2 people doing that, and I learned a couple things from them that up my level, which was really marketing. So that's why you want to get around people that are doing big things so you can learn. But when you have a coach and you got to find out what your coach has done. So, for example, I've sold over 2,000 homes in 18 years, took 2 years off, started again last year after investing and doing a bunch of stuff there. But you need to find out what have they done, not just, hey, what are you going to pay me? Because 80 of 0 is 0. So if somebody's only making 10-20% off of you, they're not going to be that vested in you succeeding. So at the end of the day, I used to be against the way brokers did the 50%, but I see the value, and I've been training people and charging $30,000 to train somebody in a month so they can make over 100K their first 12 months. So after doing all that, I've realized the reason the brokers charge so much is because the more they charge, the more training you get. So with that being said, any more questions?
No, no.
All right. So that's why I'm here, man. I want to help as many people as possible. But what I realize is the more somebody puts skin in the game by committing. So if you want to make 100 grand a year, I charge you 10 grand. If you want to make 200, I charge you 20. If you want to make 300, I charge you 30. The reason is because I want to see how committed they are. And I know I can get it done in 30 to 60 days because I've done it a bunch of times already. So my thing is finding out how far away you are on the belief in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, that's why you get a coach, so they'll believe in you before you even believe in yourself. And that's the reason you need somebody to push you, but also have the art, because it's an art form of knowing how much you can push somebody before they break and keeping them going. And I've been working on that the last 7 years, training over 50 people and just constantly seeing how people, how far you can push somebody. And I want to break people as fast as I can, to be honest, because the faster I break them, the faster I know who they are and what they're capable of. Because you won't know somebody until they're negative in their bank, $30,000 a month worth of bills. You got 10 people on payroll, and you're having to pay people out the day with negative bank account. That's when you find out who somebody is, because how they handle the hardest of times is who that person is. So the more you put yourself under pressure, going through hard things, every single time this happens to me, I say, "Thank you, God. Let's win this test. Let's get better." Because you're not growing or doing anything when it's easy. So you want to put yourself in tough situations. So by doing that is when you grow and you find out who you are and how much you don't like pain and don't want to get uncomfortable. You mentioned to me something at lunch. You had said, "I don't want to make a mistake." Because I've been you said, but the thing is, you have to be willing to take risk, and you have to be willing to make mistakes, because you will learn that mistake. But if you have somebody that's like, hey, like if you're going to the gym. So let me give you a quick example about the gym. So I started working out I never work out people, but I have a buddy that's a client, and we started working out, man. And he's bigger than me. He looks bigger than me, right? But when we work out, he's like, "Dude, you're so strong." We're pushing each other. So by having, now, to be honest, I feel like I'm pushing him a little bit more, because everything, he's like, dude, he was doing 130 and I throw on 170 and do it more, and then he wants to do more, and then I want to do and but that is what you need in your life. But you have to let the ego go and stop getting insecure and upset when people are doing better than you. You got to use that to grow. And I'm always trying to encourage people. So when I tell people things, I'm learning on who to tell what to, because I've realized that you have to be careful of who your audience is, because some people don't want to get better. But if they hear you doing great, they just want to sabotage you to bring you down because they don't want to grow. So you got to put yourself around people that want to grow. Anyways, next question.
No.
We're long-winded on that. All right, but hey, we're going to be here 6 o'clock. We're going to talk about leverage, how to leverage to get financially free, how to pull your money from your house, from yourself, from your bank, or your time. Leverage, guys, is key. And I'm going to stop selling homes here pretty soon. And all I'm going to do is raise capital and run a business, because that's the next level. I've done everything else. Excuse me. So this is the only thing that scares me, is borrowing billions of dollars. That's what I want to do. So if you guys ever want to invest, if you want to learn more, click the link below, guys. Get more information, and we'll see you on the next one.